Africa is rich, but its people are poor. This paradox has puzzled many for decades. How can a continent so abundant in natural resources, from gold and diamonds to oil and fertile land, have such high levels of poverty and underdevelopment? Have you ever wondered why? Who really owns Africa? And more importantly, who benefits from its wealth? And why is the wealth of an entire continent flowing overseas while millions struggle? The answer lies in a complex web of historical and modern exploitation. The answer may shock you. It's a story of power, control, and manipulation that has been ongoing for centuries. If Africa is so rich, why are its people not benefiting? The answer: neo-colonialism. This modern form of colonialism is more insidious and harder to detect. In the 1960s, African nations fought for freedom from colonial rule. They hoped to reclaim their lands, resources, and dignity. But while they won independence on paper, the real power never left. Take France, for example. The colonial powers devised new ways to maintain their grip. Even after its former colonies gained independence, they were forced to keep their money in French banks under the CFA franc system, a currency arrangement that benefits France more than the African nations, meaning France still controls their economies today. This financial dependency has stunted economic growth and development. And now, a new player has entered the game: China. With its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, China has become a dominant force in Africa. While it builds roads, railways, and ports across Africa, it also traps nations in debt. These infrastructure projects often come with strings attached. When they can't pay back, China takes over mines, airports, and land. This debt-trap diplomacy is a new form of economic colonization. Sound familiar? It's economic colonization. The methods may have changed, but the goal remains the same: control and exploitation. But let's not just blame foreigners. What about our own leaders? Corruption and mismanagement have also played a significant role. African politicians drive Rolls-Royces while their people have no clean water. This disparity is a glaring example of internal issues. They sign shady deals, sell off land, and allow foreign countries to exploit Africa for personal gain. This betrayal from within is just as damaging. How did we go from great African empires to leaders begging for foreign aid? The answer lies in a combination of external pressures and internal failures. Africa doesn't need aid, it needs its stolen wealth returned. The continent's future depends on reclaiming what rightfully belongs to it. The future of Africa is not in the hands of politicians or foreign investors, it's in the hands of Africans. The youth are the key to unlocking this potential. The new generation is waking up. They are more educated, more connected, and more determined than ever to change the status quo. From tech innovators in Kenya to industrialists in Nigeria, a new movement is rising: economic liberation. This movement is driven by a desire for self-sufficiency and true independence. Africa must stop relying on the West and China. It must look inward and build stronger intracontinental trade networks. Instead, it must trade within itself, manufacture its own goods, and demand fair deals for its resources. This is the path to true economic freedom. So, we ask you, who really owns Africa? The answer is complex, but the solution starts with awareness and action. And what should Africans do to reclaim their destiny? The power lies in unity, education, and economic empowerment. Let us know in the comments. Your voice matters in this crucial conversation. Should Africa cut ties with foreign powers? Or is there a way to form equitable partnerships? Or is partnership the only way forward? The future of Africa depends on the choices we make today. Like, comment, and subscribe if you believe in Africa's future. Together, we can make a difference.